Dear students, welcome back to Python application programming. In this video, I am going to discuss the continued part of classes and methods. Recall that in previous video I have started discussion of classes and methods, where I discussed what is a method, how to convert any function to a method, and which are all the functions those can be converted to a method. And even we have seen some one or two examples on writing methods to a point class and even the time class. So in this part of the video, I'll continue with the classes and methods. So here there is a special method called init method, which stands for initialization method, is a special method that gets invoked when an object is instantiated. Its full name is _init_. So there are two underscores here, and afterwards init, and followed by two more underscores. This, if you recall, while discussing in previous video, I have told about constructors of the class. If you have studied Java or C++, this particular method is something like a constructor of the class. Here in Python, we call that method as a init class. Whenever any method is whenever any object is created or instantiated, automatically this particular method will be called and it will be executed. An init method for a time class will look like this. Here inside the time class, this is the definition of the init method. Its name is __init__, and here these are the parameters of the init methods. Because this time class is going to take three attributes. So the first one is the same object of type time, and the second are remaining three are the attributes of this time class. Okay, so the first, this is the time object, whereas these three are the attributes. So whenever we want to initialize, like for example, hour, minute and second will be a normal variables which will be supplied by the user, and those variables can be assigned to attributes of this particular time class, like self.hour is equal to hour, self.minute is equal to minute, and self.second is equal to the second that has been supplied here. It is common for parameter of init _init_. This is the full name of init method to have a same names as that of attribute. Like for example, here these are the parameters hour, minute and second. These are the parameters of parameters of this particular init method. Okay, so the name of this init method is means parameters of these init methods, the names are similar to that of attributes. Okay, like here self.hour is equal to hour. So this is going to store a value of parameter hour as a attribute of the self object. The parameters are optional. We may give or we may not give these parameters. Okay, those are optional. So if we call time with no arguments, we get default values. Like here, these parameters, because we have initialized to 0 0 0, so obviously we are going, if we don't supply any arguments here, by default this method will be called and it will going to initialize all its attributes to 0 0 0. Okay, if we provide one argument, it will override the hours. Like here, if time is 9, the first it will going to take as a first parameter. Remember, actually the first parameter will be the self, and the second one will be this 9. This whatever the time is there, this time on which we are calling the method, the object will be self here, and the 9 will be assigned to this hour attribute. Okay, because of this, here the time will be initialized to 9 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. If we provide two arguments, then both the arguments will going to override. One will going to override, the first one will going to override hour, and the second one going to override minute. Like here time is equal to time 9, 45. So remember here, dear students, we are not calling that method explicitly. By default, whenever we initialize or instantiate time object, so automatically that method is called, and according to the arguments, the object will be initiated. The will be given its attributes. And if we provide 3 arguments, like say obviously say like 9 hours 45 minutes and like 30 seconds, all 3 arguments will be overridden. So before we proceed further, let me execute this program and show you the output. Say here there is a file called time init. So where I have typed this program. So simple program is this. Okay, here, so this is a class time. This is a definition of a class, and it has got 3 attributes: hour, minute and second. So this is a init method. Okay, define underscore underscore init, say underscore underscore. So this is a self object, and hour is equal to 0, minute is equal to 0, second is equal to 0. Because there are 3 attributes, I have taken these extra 3 parameters. Okay, so self dot hour is equal to hour, self dot minute is equal to minute, and self dot second is equal to second. This is a init method which gets invoked whenever an object is instantiated. Okay, so and this is a print method which we have discussed in previous classes. Okay, so a simple print method. So here if I call this as a time, see here I am creating a one time object. Time is equal to time. Obviously I have not supplied any arguments here. When any arguments are not supplied, say whatever the default values are here, like 0 0 0, say that those values will be taken, and here say with those values it will be initialized. So when I call print dot time dot print time, say obviously say this the time in the form of 0 hours, 0 minutes and 0 seconds will be printed. Let us execute this and see the output using Python 3 interpreter. Okay, so you can see 0 hours, 0 minutes and 0 second. Say for example, instead of 0 0 even we can specify any other say values, like here hours will be, let us consider 12 instead of 0, say 12 hours. Okay, midnight. So in that case, look at this, it is 12 hours, 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Okay, by default let us consider it is 0 0, and here we can initialize, like say for example, if I want to give a say 10 hours 0 minutes, just give only one argument here 10. So where we are going to, this 10 will be say initialized to this hour, will be overridden, and what we get is 10 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Even if we want to give 2, like say 10:30, then you give the second argument as 30, then obviously hour and minute will be overridden, and what we get is 10 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. And if we give all 3, like here say 30 seconds, we get 10 hours 30 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, say for example, no sir, I don't want to give hour, say hour will be 0 and I want to give minute and seconds. No problem, you make it 0 and remaining you give. So you will get say 0 hours 30 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, so a very simple say initialization method. In short, it's called as a init method. Remember, its full name is double underscore init and double underscore. Okay, so this is the self object and these 3 are the parameters because it has got 3 attributes. Okay, so this is a very simple method which will going to initialize whenever a object is created, and this method is called automatically after creating a object. As an exercise, what you can do, write an init method for point class. Here I have written a init method for time class. You can write a init method for point class, which we have discussed earlier. Say that how you are supposed to write the write an method for point class that takes x and y as optional parameters and assigns them to the corresponding attributes. It's a simple thing. You try it. If you come across any difficulties and doubts, you can ask me. So with this, we'll discuss one more special method called string method. Okay, say its full name is also like init method. Its full name is double underscore means here double underscore str double underscore. Yes, it is a special method like init that is supposed to return a string representation of an object. So whatever the object is there, its a string representation will be returned by this particular method. For example, here is a str method for a time object. Like inside the class, say the definition will be define double underscore str double underscore. Say it will going to take a one object, means one object of type class. Here the time, the class is of type time. Okay, this is self, and what it does is it will going to return the string representation of an object. Say that's what this is the representation. We can define it. What kind of representation here? Say because it's a time. Say we are representing this like a %.2d is to %.2d. This is similar to that we have written in a print class. But instead of print class, we have given the name here as define say double underscore str double underscore, and this is a even time class used to take a time function, a print function even used to take one object, and this is also taking a one object which has to be printed. Mean like it doesn't print whose string representation has to be returned. It will return this particular string, right? So when we want to print an object, Python invokes the string method. Like say time is equal to here time 9:45. We have seen already. Whenever we call this, if there is a init method, obviously the hour will be initialized to 9 hours and minute will be initialized to 45 minutes. And now instead of using that print underscore time method, we can directly use this print function, say, and supply the time object. Say this is the time object. Print time, it will going to print 9:45. Dear students, earlier we were using this print only for built-in types like say integers and floating point numbers and strings, but now you can see we are using this on even the user defined or programmer defined data types. Okay, so this is also will execute. Before I proceed further, let's see the execution. Here say there is a function, there is a file called time underscore str. Say here I have written the total str method. This is as usual the class definition. Okay, so this is the earlier init method, okay, which we discussed, and here say define underscore str underscore self. This is what it will going to return, this string. Okay, say this particular statement, it is similar to that of a print function. There we were printing it, but here we are returning this particular string. Okay, say if I say for example, if I just call the time object time, say here, say obviously now it should print 0 0 0. Okay, let me execute this with Python 3 interpreter. Say 0 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. So if at all I want to execute by giving some other values like 11 hours 0 minutes and 45 seconds. Here we have made use of both the methods. One is init method and another one is str method. Init method is going to initialize the object to a given arguments. If no arguments are provided here, obviously say the object will be initialized to 0 0 0, and the print function is going to say automatically it calls a str method, so where the str method is going to return a string representation of a object. Hope this is clear to all of you. When we write a new class, always start by writing init, which will going to initialize the object, which makes it easier to instantiate objects, and write say str, which is useful for debugging. Means whenever we want a object its status, we can print it say easily using a print function, so it will be very much useful for debugging. Okay, as an exercise, write a str method for the point class, create a point class and print it. Okay, so in previous you write a init method and later you write a str method. So in that particular program you create a point object and print it using a print function. Okay, so if you come across any doubts while writing, you can ask me. With this, I'll move on to the one new concept called operator overloading. So any object oriented programming languages say is going to support this particular say concept, which is called as a operator overloading. By defining other special methods, we can specify the behavior of operators on programmer defined types. Okay, means what kind of behavior should be there with the operator, so that can be say decided even by the programmer. For example, if we define a method named double underscore add double underscore for time class, we can use the plus operator on time objects. Dear students, remember, so far the plus we have used for integers, we have used for floating point numbers, we have used even for strings also, where the plus operator on strings is going to concatenate. So whereas we have not used any plus operator on our whichever the function classes we have defined, like time class and point class, but we can do it by writing a special method called double underscore add double underscore. So here is a definition of a double underscore add double underscore method. Define double underscore add double underscore. So this has to be obviously its method means it has to be defined inside the time class time. Okay, so it will going to take one object, that's the object of type class here time, and other will be so because it is a add, obviously these two, say we want to add two time objects. One will be say the self object on which we have called the method, and another one is the other object. Okay, so to which object should be added to it. Here say the simple method what we do is say we are going to convert given time to integer, like here self dot time underscore time to int. This is the method, so already we have discussed in previous videos, and this is the method, so same method it is called on other object. Okay, so obviously this method and this method is going to return integer, the equivalent integer equivalent of a time, and both will be added and stored in seconds. And later say we are going to use a function called int to time, that will going to take a seconds and convert to a equivalent time, and that object will be returned here. Okay, and here is how we could use it. So like start is a one object which is equal to say it will be initialized with 9 hours and 45 minutes, and the duration say this also time object, like say it's 1 hour and 35 minutes. So if we print, so we can directly print like this, print start plus duration. So earlier to this we have a add function and later we printed it. So using a add function or say add method, we added two time objects and later we printed it. But here just a plus operator is going to add both. Before we discuss more about this, let me execute this program and show it to you, and later I'll continue the discussion. So there is some one file called time underscore add. So here I have written everything. So this is a class definition. Okay, so this is the init method which already we have discussed. Okay, so this is the print method, so using a str. Okay, means basically it is a method that will going to return the a string representation of an object. Okay, this is a method that will going to convert a time to int. So already even this method we have discussed earlier, and this is a method that it will going to add two time objects. You can see define double underscore add double underscore self comma other, because we want to add two objects. One object here is a self and another one will be the other. Okay, so seconds is equal to, as I told, say both the objects will be converted to integers. Okay, later we are going to use a function called into time, say where it is going to take a say the seconds and convert to a equivalent time. So this is the definition of into time function. So remember dear students, all these are methods of a time class, whereas this is a function. Okay, say here, so and even why this is a function and why we cannot convert this to a method, that I have discussed in a previous class. Okay, so now here t1 is one time object where say time is 9 hours 0 minutes and 45 seconds, and t2 is another time object, say whose value is 1 hour 30 minutes and 5 seconds. So print t1 plus t2. So we should get, say this is 50 seconds, this is 30 minutes and 10 hours. 10 hours, 30 minutes and 50 seconds we should get here. Okay, so if I execute this, let us see. So this is 10 hours, say 30 minutes and 50 seconds. So dear students, so this is clear to you, it is a init method, and even this is clear to you, this is a str method which is used to return a which is used to return a string representation of an object, and this is a method which will going to convert a time to int, and this is the method which will going to add two time objects. Okay, and this is the function which will going to convert into two time. Okay, means number of seconds to a time, and this is the starting code. Okay, so I hope this is clear to all of you. If you have any doubts, always you can ask those doubts and clarify your doubts. So here, continuing with the discussion, when we apply the plus operator to time objects, Python invokes double underscore add double underscore. When we print the result, Python invokes double underscore str double underscore. So there is a lot happening behind the scene. Dear students, look at this. We have called plus operator. We have applied plus operator. It is calling a add method, and we are printing the result. It is calling a str method. Means what we are doing at the front and what is happening at the inside, there is much more thing. Okay, means the front we have applied the plus operator, whereas the behind means it is calling the add method. Okay, see here front side plus operator, say backend it has called to a add method. Okay, changing the behavior of an operator, here the plus, actually the work or behavior of a or function of a plus operator is to add two integers or floating point numbers. That too in case in str method that has been applied to concatenate two strings, and here in a time object, say we have applied that plus operator to add two time objects, changing the behavior of an operator so that it works with a programmer defined type is called operator overloading. Very important thing. Changing the behavior of an operator so that it works with a programmer defined type. Here programmer defined type is time, is called operator overloading. For every operator in Python, there is a corresponding special method like double underscore add double underscore, so which we can override to do any other activities, means to add two time objects here, and if we apply this to a point class, there we can add 2 points. Okay, this special function this special method will get in any Python which we can use, means for every operator in Python. Say for plus operator there is a double underscore add. Okay, for more details on which are all the methods we get for all the operators, you just go through this particular link where you are going to get more the say functions, means more methods, and which particular operators those methods will going to overload. See, overloading is very simple. Say one operator is going to do so many other work, like plus operator is for addition. say it should do the addition of integer, or say for example floating point number. Let us consider in general addition of numbers, but in case of str method it is doing concatenation, which is different from that of addition. And in case of say the time object, which we have done since of just now, so it is going to do the addition of say time objects, which is very much different from the normal addition. Means the plus operator is going to do so many other functions. That's what we call this as a operator overloading. Okay, go through this particular link, and say if any doubts are there, you can ask me. Okay, as an exercise, as you can write a add method for point class that will going to add 2 point objects, right? So with this I'm going to discuss one more special concept called new concept called type based dispatch. In the previous section we added 2 time objects, t1 and t2, but we also may wish to add an integer to a time object. Remember, when we used plus operator, say, we added t1 and t2, and both t1 and t2 were time objects. But I want to add t1 plus some seconds, where seconds will be a integer. The following is a double underscore add double underscore means add method that checks the type of the other. Means there is a in case of add method there were 2 parameters. One parameter was self and another parameter was other. Okay, so this particular here is a new version of this particular add method. So what it does is, first it will going to check the type of other. If the type of other is a time class time, then it will going to say call a normal function. Otherwise it will going to call a increment method, as a normal method or a normal add time method or a increment method. Here we can see, so inside the class definition, define a double underscore, add a double underscore, this is self comma other, this is one object and this is the other object. The problem is if this other object is not a time object, so for that purpose here there is a one function called is instance. If is instance means its a meaning is something like this: if other is instance of time, we should read this something like this: if other is instance of time, instance is nothing but object, if other is object of type time, okay, so then do this. So obviously what is the meaning here? If other is object of time means nothing but if other is a time object, then return self dot add time. Here we are calling so add time and supplying other as a parameter. Okay, else if other is not instance of time, or if other is not object of type time, then call self dot increment and supply this other. Okay, so this is earlier add time, say this is add underscore time. Okay, here which it will going to take self and other. Say obviously this we have seen, it will going to convert say the time object to equivalent seconds, and later we are using that into time, it will going to convert second to a equivalent time. And this is the increment function. Okay, so increment method, so where it will going to take self and so this other will be number of seconds here. Okay, so it will going to convert this self time object to a number of seconds that will be added to a given seconds. Okay, and total seconds will be later converted using a function into to time, right? So before we proceed further, let me execute this, see the output, and later we'll discuss. Okay, here there is a file called time underscore dispatch. Okay, so this is a total program file. Okay, so this is the definition of a class. Here init method, so we have already seen it. Okay, this is a str, so which will going to return the string representation of object. Okay, this is a method which will going to convert time to int. Okay, see here you can see define time to int. Okay, so and this is a method which will going to call, this is a method to call a type based methods. Okay, so this is a method which will convert a time to int. Okay, so whereas this is a method, so for just now we discussed this method only. So this is a method which will going to call type based methods, means based on the type it will going to call, say either add method or increment method. Say that's what, define double underscore add double underscore self other. If is instance other time, means if other is instance of time, call this, else call this. Okay, so this is a method which will going to add two time objects, so add underscore time, and this is the method which will going to add seconds to the time objects, and this is a function which will going to convert seconds to a time object. Okay, and this is a starting code. Okay, here one time object is say time 9:45 and another time object is 1:35. Say here I am calling say print function which will going to add say inside that, say here this is a plus operator which will going to add say start and duration objects, and whatever the result to the total summation will be there, that will be printed. And here say one more version of this, here I am instead of adding a time object I am adding a number of seconds, here 1337 seconds. Okay, this is a time object, whereas this is not a time object, it is a normal integer. Let me execute this using Python 3 interpreter. Now you can see, say the first result is a output of two time objects. Okay, addition of two time objects, whereas the second result is a output of a addition of a integer to a time objects. Dear students, what you need to remember here is type based dispatch. Okay, means based on the type it is calling a particular method here. If the type means if here is instance, if other is instance of time, call this. Okay, otherwise call this. That's the, because of this the type this add underscore means this type of method we call it as a type based means the concept we call it as a type based dispatch. Based on the type it is going to dispatch a method. Right, so here the built-in function is instance takes a value and a class object and returns true if the value is instance class, otherwise it will obviously return false. If other is a time object, say add invokes add time, otherwise it assumes that the parameter is a number and invokes increment. This operation is called type based dispatch because it dispatches the computation to a different methods based on the type of the arguments. Here are the examples which we have seen. Okay, so we have used even plus operator with the different types. Okay, so already we have seen a example, this example, but unfortunately this implementation of addition is not commutative. Commutative means say a plus b is equal to b plus a, which is not true in this case. If integer is the first operand, we will get error. Here instead of say start plus 1337, if we use say 1337 plus start, we will get error. Even I will show you that. So I will change in this, instead of say 1337 at the second, say we will write it as 1337 plus start, and let me remove this. Right, so let me see what will be the output. Now look at this, this is the output of the say previous, means addition of two time objects, but here we are getting a error. So the error here is unsupported operand, because we cannot call this particular say the add method, the dispatch method, based on this particular object. This is not the object of type time, this is just a integer. So because of that it will going to give a error. So means a plus b, which is commutative law, is not applicable here. Then what is the solution? here the problem is, instead of asking the time object to add an integer, the Python is asking an integer to add a time object. Say, and it doesn't know how, means say the integer don't know how to add a time object, but time object knows how to add a integer. Okay, but there is a clever solution for this problem. The special method called a double underscore radd. So radd in the it stands for something like a add from the right side. Okay, so which stands for right side addition, means right side add. This method is invoked when a time object appears on the right side of the plus operator. So here is a definition, like say define double underscore radd double underscore self other, return, say it will going to return self, it will going to call add radd, means whenever the integer is at the beginning, then we can use this radd and say call a particular, say change that particular integer and call the method. Okay, you can execute this and see the output on your own. Okay, so a very simple thing. And with this we'll and one more here, say as an exercise write a add method for point class, point object that works with either point object or a tuple. Yes, point object also there, and even a tuple can represent a sorry, two coordinates of a point. So, means you write a add method which either it is going to add two point objects or a point object with a tuple, right? Say means here if the second operand is a point, the method should return a new point whose x coordinate is a sum of x coordinate operands, and likewise the y coordinates. If the second operand is a tuple, the method should add first element of the tuple to the x coordinate and the second element to the y coordinate and return the new point with the result. Okay, so I hope this you can try it. So if you come across any difficulties, always you can ask me, right? So with this we'll proceed further to one more concept called polymorphism. Once again, this is a object oriented programming concept. Type based dispatch is useful when it is necessary but fortunately it is not always necessary. Often we can avoid it by writing functions that work correctly for arguments with different types. Means we can write say all the methods which will work with different types of arguments. Like many of the functions we wrote for string also works for other sequence of types. For example, say we use histogram to count a number of times each letter appears in a word. Like say this is the function already we have seen. Say this is a user defined function we wrote, define histogram. Say this s is a string. Say dictionary, it will going to define a dictionary. D is equal to dictionary, means empty dictionary. For every character in a string, if C is not there in a dictionary, D of C is equal to 1. Say and else D of C is equal to D of C plus 1. Say later return D. Say what this particular function say used to do is it will going to do is it will going to count the occurrence of a particular character in that this S string. Right, this function also works for list. It not only for a string, it even works for list, it works for tuples and even for dictionaries. Okay, as long as the elements are hashable, means as long as we can say index those elements, so they can be used as a keys in a dictionary. Now here if you see T is equal to spam egg spam, means this is a say it's a list. If we see this list, here you can see histogram of T. Say here say how many times the spam has appeared, 4 times, the egg has appeared 1 times, and bacon has appeared 1 times. Okay, function that work with several types are called polymorphic. Very important thing. Say this histogram function, it is working with a string, it is working with list, it can work with a dictionary, it can work with even tuple. Okay, such a function which works with several types are called polymorphic functions. A polymorphism can facilitate code reuse. See, the meaning of a polymorphism means poly means many, morphism means having many faces. means it can work for so many other types. For example, the built-in function sum, which adds elements of a sequence, works as long as elements of a sequence supports addition. Means if the elements are going to support addition, it will going to work for all those elements. Okay, since time objects provide an add method, they work with sum. Here t1 is equal to some time, t2 is equal to some time, t3 is also some time. So where the total time can be sum of t1 plus t2 plus t3. Okay, sum of t1, t2, 3t, print total, it will going to print. Look at this here. Say we have not written any sum function, but it can say we can use of that sum function which is already there, and we can apply that on these time objects. Okay, so obviously you just write this, you are going to get the output t1, t2, t3, but we have not written any sum object for a time class. Okay, so if so that's what very important here is, if a particular means the sequence of elements here, say for example a built-in function sum which adds elements of sequence works as long as elements of sequence are going to support addition. If those elements are going to support addition, so surely that sum will going to support. Okay, in general, if all the operations inside a function work with a given type, which are all the operations are there inside the function, if it will work with a given type, then definitely that function will work with that particular type, right? So the best kind of polymorphism is unintentional kind. Here, dear students, we were not knowing that before this we were not knowing that sum will going to add say t1, t2 and t3, but now you can use, after adding that method, you can use say sum means, but remember there should be add method. Okay, so we can use now some function which will going to add say time objects. So this is what, say the best kind of polymorphism is unintentional kind, where we discover that a function we already wrote can be applied to type we never planned. We were not, means that some function say we were not planned for time objects, but we can apply it. We come to know that because of this polymorphism, we can use that some function even to add say 2 or more time objects. Hope this is clear to all of you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Say this is almost the end of 4th module, and in the next class what I am going to do is I am going to discuss say the programs based on this 4th module. Okay, thank you for watching. We'll continue in next class.